Hi, my name is Rachel and welcome back to another video. Hello! In today's video, I'll be going over all of the books that I either was gifted or bought for my birthday. My birthday is on August 13th, and by the time you're seeing this, I think it's probably going to be 2 weeks after that. I posted a poll on Instagram, and everyone said that 2 weeks late was still fine and that there's always time for a good book haul. So let's dive into it. The first set of books I'm going to talk about are gifts from my husband. He sent me 2 box sets, and I have read one of them, and one of them I have not read yet. This is so heavy, so pardon me if I look like I'm dying. But the first box set that he sent me is the Tea Dragon Society hardcover box set. Oh, I'm so excited. I actually just read the 3rd book in this series, the Tea Dragon Tapestry, from the library recently for Draconathon. As of right now, it's August 16th, and we're smack dab in the middle of Draconathon, and these, if you didn't know, are about tiny little dragons that grow tea on their heads. It is a very queer normative world. It is so whimsical and beautiful. The art is amazing. I'm so stoked to have these beautiful hardcovers on my shelf. Oh my god, I forgot I had eye makeup on and I just rubbed my eye, so if it looks rough over here, what can you do, you know? The next set of books my husband sent me I have not read yet, and it is the Alcatraz versus the Evil Librarians series by Brandon Sanderson. These are these are the only Brandon Sanderson books I haven't read yet, other than like one comic that he has that's unrelated to the Cosmere, I believe. So I'm really excited for these. I know that these just got rebranded with new covers in the last year or 2, I think it was, and they're all mixed up right now because my child was playing with them, but they look super cute. I've had my friend Maggie told me that she liked them and she thinks that I will like them, and I do love a good middle grade, and I can't wait to share these with my son when he gets a little older and read some chapter books with him. He's also really excited because one of these has a shark on the cover. The next 2 books I'm going to talk about were gifts from viewers, I guess, or friends on Instagram. And first of all, I just want to say, if you sent me something, like, you did not have to, but you are so sweet and so kind, and thank you so much. So the first book I was gifted is Ordinary Monsters by J.M. Miro, and this was so kindly and sweetly sent to me by my friend Angela on Instagram. Her @ is booklover. I'll put it above my head maybe, and I'll also tag her down below. She's so sweet. She's also a stay-at-home mom like me, and she is crushing the Instagram game. That sounded weird when I said it. Did it sound weird to you? And she's just so sweet and kind and such a generous soul to send me this for my birthday. Thank you so much. And I really can't wait to read this one. I've heard great things. It's huge, which we love. So thank you. The next book I'm going to talk about is a little bit of a mystery. I was so graciously gifted The Pariah by Anthony Ryan, and I don't know who sent this to me. I posted on Instagram twice, and I posted on my community tab here on YouTube, and I don't know who sent this to me. And I just want to say, if you're watching, if you just want to be anonymous, that's fine, but thank you so much. It's bigger than I thought it was. Can't wait to read it. And you did not have to send me something, but it was so sweet of you to gift me a birthday present, and I wish I could thank you personally. Hopefully you see this. If you do want to come forward, please feel free so I can thank you properly. Thank you. And of course, the last couple books I'm going to talk about are books that were a gift to me from me because I had to take myself book shopping on my birthday, right? It's like the law. I don't make the rules, I just follow them. So I bought myself 6 books at Barnes & Noble for my birthday, and I'm going to split them in half. So the first 3 I'm going to talk about here are dragon books, because of course I was heavily influenced by the fact that it's Draconathon right now, and I had to buy some more dragon books. The first dragon book that I got for myself, and could not have snatched it off the shelf any quicker because I was so influenced by everyone who's reading it right now, is The Last Spy Hunter by Soleil Goldenberg. First of all, this cover is gorgeous. I know like very vague things about this, and I don't even want to read the synopsis, and I don't want to find out, because the 2 people that I saw talking about this, it was Jade and Soleil. I'll have them linked below. The hosts of Draconathon were both talking about this, and I trust their dragon recs implicitly, explicitly, one of those words. Whichever one works, that's the one. I am easily swayed by a gorgeous cover, as you can see here. I didn't need to know more. The next dragon book I have is actually a book that I've never heard of, and I went into Barnes & Noble. My first intentions were to only buy a couple of books, but then I was, again, easily influenced by my friend who was shopping with me, Maggie, and she told me to just get more than 2, so I did. But I wanted to try to get at least one book that I had never heard of before, so I could potentially find a new favorite that isn't hyped online yet. And so I picked up Spine of the Dragon by Kevin J. Anderson. I've never heard of this author, and I've never heard of this book. I mean, the cover, it leaves a little to be desired, but I can see dragon scales and I see a dagger, so I'm just assuming someone tries to kill a dragon. I read the summary when I was at the store to get a feel for it, and I remember thinking like, oh shit, that sounds great, I'm gonna pick it up. And I really hope that since I haven't heard of it before, if I do love it, maybe I can help boost it out a little bit on the interwebs, because what am I saying? I'm losing my train of thought. I just saw a hummingbird. So I can shout it from the rooftops, and by rooftops I mean online. It's published by Tor, which is odd because Tor and Orbit are definitely my 2 favorite fantasy publishers. So weird that I haven't heard of this yet, but that just means it could be a hidden gem, and I'm down for that. And the third dragon book that I got for myself is I'm Afraid You've Got Dragons by Peter S. Beagle. I could not resist. First of all, the title, I'm Afraid You've Got Dragons, like, it just sounds so like funny. And also the cover, beautifully drawn. The dragons look menacing. There's so many of them. There's a castle. I've heard that this is kind of like cozy fantasy, but like comedy. I've heard it's funny and it's short, and I love the cover. I saw it and I was like, you're coming home with me. It's also blurbed up here by Mr. Travis Baldry, and we know I'm a stan for Legends and Lattes, as well as Bookshops and Bone Dust. I love both of those books. Those are my vibe. If this book is anything like that, as in like tone and vibe, I feel like it's gonna be a new fave. So the last 3 books that I have that I bought for myself are kind of just a hodgepodge of fantasy-ish. I think they're all fantasy. Yeah, a hodgepodge of fantasy. The next book I'm going to talk about is The Daughters of Izdahar by Hadir Elspy, and I had heard of this book when it had originally first came out, and I knew that it was kind of compared to having similar like vibes and tone to The City of Brass with like completely different plot. And all that I know about this from when I read the synopsis at Barnes & Noble, it kind of gave me like Egyptian like Avatar vibes, earthbenders, waterbenders, airbenders, but in Egypt, and I'm excited for that. And also I love the cover, how it's kind of monochromatic with that splash of like goldy orange. Beautiful. So I'm really excited for this one too. The next book that I have here is another one I've never heard of before, which again is published by Orbit. So it's crazy because, like I said earlier, Orbit and Tor are kind of like the cream of the crop fantasy publishers, in my opinion. Like I tend to gravitate towards books that they push out because those are very much like in my wheelhouse, in my safe zone. And that book is Empire of Exiles by Aaron M. Evans. That is hard to say. Evans? Aaron M. Evans. Wow. Aaron M. Evans. Aaron M. Evans. Aaron M. Evans. That's a mouthful. Wow. So what pulled me towards this when I was shopping at Barnes & Noble was the cover, because it was faced out, and I had actually thought that this was a Joe Abercrombie book, because he has a book that has like a similar, where it's kind of like a map and then a knife over top, and I thought that's what it was, so I picked it up. But then I went, oh no, this is not by him. And then I read the back of it and I was like, wait, was this like a happy accident where I found a book that sounds right up my alley? All that I remember about reading the synopsis at Barnes & Noble was that there is political intrigue, like subterfuge, I guess like anti-heroes, and I love a good anti-hero, so I had to snatch it up. And speaking of Joe Abercrombie, I was at Barnes & Noble. He was one of the authors I kind of had my eye on, so I grabbed The Blade Itself by Joe Abercrombie. This is book 1 of the First Law trilogy. It's like super popular. If you don't know it by now, like, you're obviously not a fantasy reader. And I could not tell you a single thing about the First Law, except that people rave about it, and it's grimdark. And if you haven't been on my channel that long, my channel hasn't even been on my channel that long. If you haven't followed me or known me for very long, then you will know that I am in a fight with YA. I haven't been loving YA lately. I just feel like it doesn't go there for me. Like, it doesn't push the envelope and it doesn't like really challenge itself. I feel like the themes are just kind of overdone and they don't go as deep as they should. I feel like there's no nuance lately. I also am like just kind of really getting sick of romantasy. Like, I love romantasy, but it's so oversaturated right now. So when I went to Barnes & Noble shopping for my birthday, I was like, okay, we need a complete 180. Well, not a complete 180, let's be honest. I'm never gonna veer away from fantasy permanently, but instead of having like YA or romantasy, I was like, let's go grimdark. Let's give that a shot, because I don't think I've ever read anything that qualifies as grimdark. We're gonna dunk our toes in, give them a wiggle, see how we like it. I have high hopes, because a lot of the times my complaints with other books are that they're just not dark enough, and hence why I picked up Joe Abercrombie. So those are all of the books that I either bought myself or was gifted for my birthday. I did not read synopsises or give any summaries of these books because it was just a book haul, and if I were to sit here and give a summary for every single one of those books, then I think that I might be sitting here for quite a long time. But I will absolutely be talking about them in future videos, so stay tuned if you want to know more about any of those. If you have read any of these, please tell me your thoughts, if you liked them, if you didn't like them, and which one of these do you think I should prioritize? Do you have a favorite out of these? Thank you so much for watching my birthday book haul, and if you've made it this far, leave a shopping bag emoji down in the comments, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!